You're listening to the Angela Henderson Online Business Show, episode 326. Hey there, you amazing human, and welcome to the Angela Henderson Online Business Show, the podcast that is designed for female entrepreneurs who want to make more money in a way that is in alignment for them. If you're looking for practical advice, proven strategies, and expert insights to help you navigate the challenges of growing your business, then you've come to the right place. Welcome, my friend. I am your host, Angela Henderson, a proud Canadian living in beautiful Australia, and I'm a business coach, consultant, and strategist who has helped thousands of women around the world build successful businesses. Through solo episodes and interviews with successful business owners, industry experts, and thought leaders, you'll get insider insights into what it takes to succeed in today's digital age. Whether you're struggling to scale your business, looking for ways to boost your productivity, or seeking ways to overcome the challenges of being an entrepreneur, this show has everything you need to succeed and more. So subscribe, pop your headphones on, and get ready to creating the business and life you deserve today by allowing the Angela Henderson Online Business Show help you create a winning strategy, develop the right mindset, and build lasting wealth. Do you give yourself the permission to have self-compassion? Or is this a luxury you only give to others? You see, self-compassion is around treating oneself with the same kindness, care, and understanding that one would offer to a friend or loved one during times of difficulty, suffering, or when facing personal failures or shortcomings. Self-compassion also entails acknowledging one's own pain and imperfections without judgment, self-criticism, or self-blame, but instead with a sense of empathy and self-love. So today's podcast isn't perfect. It hasn't been researched. It actually wasn't planned to be around this topic, but here I am, giving myself self-compassion and showing you the importance of self-compassion. You see, last night I had a missed phone call from an old work friend, Janet. But I simply thought she had pocket dialed me as my name started with A, and it's not uncommon that this happens, so I carried on with my date night with Grant. This afternoon, I noticed I had a couple additional missed calls and that there was voice messages this time around. So I listened, and I actually had a voice message from Janet, even though my phone didn't tell me last night that it was a voice message. And I also had another old work friend, Glenn, leave a message asking me to ring him. I was like, well, this is unusual. Why would Janet and Glenn be ringing me? Didn't think anything else of it. And right before I rang Glenn back, I actually had another message from another work friend, Peter, on Facebook. And then it dawned on me. I started to put the pieces together and realized that something wasn't good. I rang Glenn back, and he asked if I was sitting down. I replied yes. And he said, "It's Gary. He's passed away." My heart instantly ached. I was gutted. You see, Gary was one of the only humans that I looked forward to seeing in the workplace every day when I was in that 9-to-5 grind. His laugh was absolutely infectious. He was always smiling, always spreading joy. He'd been traveling for the last 12 weeks on his honeymoon. He was actually in the Sydney Harbor sailing into the dock. He had popped his bottle of champagne to celebrate his honeymoon with his wife, and an hour later, he had passed. This afternoon, I've had the beautiful opportunity to spend time reconnecting with old workmates, talking about the beautiful soul Gary who has passed, telling stories, crying, and I've also just spent time sitting in silence. And then I started to beat myself up because I hadn't gone and done that fucking to-do list that we all have. I hadn't prepared for this podcast, and I hadn't missed one episode in 5 years of podcasting. It's kind of like one of the things that I just do. And then I had to stop. I had to remind myself of how I treat my clients, how I treat my kids, how I treat others. And I had to give myself a little bit more self-compassion today. It's easy to forget that the most crucial relationship that we have is the one with ourselves. Yet self-compassion, it simply is not a luxury. It's in fact a necessity. And it's about understanding that I too am human. Today was a reminder that I deserve kindness, patience, and understanding, but not only for today, but every day. Self-compassion isn't about self-indulgence. It's about self-care. It's about acknowledging my worthiness of love, care, and space. It's also a journey and something that I used to practice, but then I've stopped practicing. And in fact, it's a daily practice of embracing my flaws, learning from my experiences, and treating myself with the same warmth and tenderness that I readily offer to others. So today, as I grieve the loss of my old, beautiful friend, Gary, I choose to give myself self-compassion. I chose, I should say, to create this podcast that wasn't meant to be this podcast, but is still perfectly perfect. And those that are listening will get exactly what you need from this podcast. And I also choose to give myself compassion and slowly wrap this podcast up. And then I'm going to go put on Christmas music and bake some beautiful Christmas cupcakes for Chloe's class tomorrow. And I'm also going to take the time to just remember Gary and the beautiful soul that he was. I ask you to reflect on where you too can give yourself a little bit more self-compassion in life, in business, in relationships. Where can you give yourself more kindness, more love, more grace? Why? Because you are deserving of it. I am deserving of it. And before I wrap up, love your loved ones. Call your friend. Go on your date night. Take the trip. Life is short. Much love from Brisbane, Australia. Over and out. Self-compassion. Thanks for listening to the Angela Henderson online business show, www.angelahenderson.com.au.